What is going on, everybody? It is Aaron here with the Rookie Geek. I am coming at you again with another lightsaber review. I'm actually really excited about this one. So we're touching base with Vire Sabers. Once again, I have already done one review on Vire Sabers, get you a little acquainted with them with one of their RGB sabers. So basically, I try to spread out my purchasing as far as different companies. I like to try everybody out and see what they offer. What are the pros, what are the cons. I feel like every company does something very well, lacks in other areas, and to varying degrees. Some, the downsides are minuscule to, next to not noticeable at all. Vire would actually be one of those companies that I would say is, I really haven't had an issue with them whatsoever. The small operation that Tyler at Vire Sabers has going on functions very well. He tells me his wife organizes everything for him, which is, kind of not surprising. My wife would organize everything if I let her. So, keeping an eye on people I had bought from in the past, occasionally somebody will pop up with something that I just have to have. One of the things would actually be my broken order over here from Dark Wolf. I had already, purchased a saber from, actually two sabers from Dark Wolf, but I just had to have that hilt. Once they actually added the broken emitter, had to do it. So Vire, is an LGT reseller, and they, it's been a lot of the same stuff over the past year, but that, not to say that they don't have a wide variety of things. I mean, there's endless possibilities with the system over there at Vire, how you can build it from top to bottom, everything from the blade to the electronics to the pommel to the emitter. It just, I had been looking and over again for so long that I just didn't, it was all the things that I had seen before. But this is why you continue to look. All of a sudden, Tyler announced in one of the Facebook groups that he had some new parts in. I loved all of the new parts, but this one really caught my eye. So it is one of the only things I think that he has where it is an emitter switch combo. They come as one. But I really loved this. I'm going to go ahead and give you a close-up view of this. Little side windows on the emitter. Now these slits here, I did not notice those when I was purchasing, but I love that little accent there. Now these are called the Rogue emitter and switch. This is the Rogue sleeve. And then this one here, this is the same pommel that I had on my Rebel Sabers, Phantom Warden, and I had ordered a Rook pommel with this one. And when it got here, I had an extra one of these laying around, and I just really felt like this was a missed opportunity on my part. I should have gone with this one. I just didn't want to have a hilt with the same pommel as another hilt that I have, but it was just too perfect to pass up. But I love it, guys. Aircraft grade aluminum, standard, really solid hilt, very well built. Comes in all the pieces here, so it's very easy to disassemble if you ever need to. In this case, I got the Proffie Neopixel V2, so I have the highest end electronics in this that you can get from Vire, as far as I know, anyway. But some small differences if you're an RGB person and you're just now moving on to Neopixel. If you don't know what Neopixel is, the difference is a lot of people's beginner sabers, they will have an in-hilt LED, whether that be a single LED or tri-cree or just having an RGB in there where it has it functions as any color you like. It has that same deal. It's still the same setup right here. So you've got the one port or the charge port right here and the one button setup. These are just two of your screws to hold the switch to the board. You've got two retention screw holes here. Now I did get a little bit of a wiggle when you go this way and that way. Nothing really to write home about, but just full discretion, I did get a little bit of that. There are some easy solutions for that if it drives you crazy. It doesn't really, I don't notice it while I'm swinging, so or while I'm the little bit of dueling I will do with my Neopixels. But yeah, I just felt, here you go to the switch and then this goes to the sleeve, and it just really, I love how this all shaped out. But let's move on to some of the fun stuff, guys. Let's do the features on this. We'll just start it off. Now, when this video is over at the end, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a spin, just so that way you can get more of an idea of how it looks when it's actually, you know, glowing in the dark and all that stuff. But let's start. So this one right here, this is a Ray sound font. Now, you got your standard, tap the button, you get your little flashes, got your flash on flash. You just hold it in, go down, then you hold it down for just a quick 1 second and it'll change the sound font.
That's enough. This will be your prey.
So, you're going to have to excuse me on not knowing his name. I'm sure somebody watching this does know his name, but it is a ex-Jedi, pretty much dark side user that's on Dathomir in the game of Fallen Order, Star Wars Fallen Order. You know, great game if you haven't played it, but that's where that hilt comes from. If you haven't played it, it's a really great story. If anything, just look online for the you know, the clips, all the cinematics, and just check that out. But so we go down you know, to the next font. Okay, it's another Fallen Order. Okay, now you will notice, I mean, if you're not used to Neopixels are very bright. Some people will actually sand down their blades, whether, you know, just the standard polycarbonate blade. I'm actually seeing people now that are sanding down their Neopixels. I would be a little hesitant to do that just because I'm clumsy. I'm not really that crafty. I do what I can. I try and do my own leather wraps and weathering and stuff, but you know. So we get the lockup, and we'll go back down. Go to the next font.
Empress Palpatine.
So this is one of my favorite. I'm not a Sith character. You know, I'm not a dark side user. If I had to pick, I'm definitely more of a Jedi, gray Jedi kind of deal. But I do love this sound font and the blade effect on it. It just goes to like a white all the way into like a light red, and then it just pulses down. I mean, it's a beautiful sound font. It is. I have it on another one of my Neopixels, but I'm not upset when this one shows up. And that's the other thing, guys. Some of my sabers have lower sound. It's nothing to write home about. It's nothing to think too much on. But this one has phenomenal sound. The speaker is top notch.
Count Dooku.
We got a little Count Dooku. And that's the thing with the Neopixels, you know, the best thing about them really is that, you know, shoot down and up from the hilt.
You are a bold one.
And this is the Obi-Wan. Now again, I mean, with the blue, I mean, I really haven't decided on my favorite color, but I think it's between blue and red with this hilt. It's just always, also when it's lit up and stuff, it really is reminiscent of Starkiller's. I mean, not perfect, obviously, but it does have that kind of dark side Starkiller vibe to it. And go.
Rogue Commander.
Now, when the blade's on, if you hold down that button for just a quick second, you get the music with it, and there's a different song for every sound font on the board, so that's pretty nifty if you want to get, you know, super geeky with it.
Darkness.
And here's another pulsar, more of a flame kind of font to it. But again, I just love it. I mean, it's just the smallest little detail, but I really do love that little window on the emitter. Go back down. That one actually shoots from both ends. I love that. That's pretty cool.
Your destiny lies with me, Skywalker.
I'm gonna guess, since this one went blue, it's very Anakin, the color, so I'm gonna assume that's kind of how they went with it. You know, since it's Darth Vader there, I just kind of expected a red one, but there's enough dark side sound fonts on this thing.
I'm Cal Kestis.
Cal Kestis, this is the main character from Jedi Fallen Order. You know, the same, this is his lightsaber right there. But that is, I actually like this color. It's more of a, not quite orange, but more of a peach almost. I mean, it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but I do love the color. Now, keep in mind with all of these, you know, you can change the color of any of them. The blade effect will stay the same, but the color will change.
The General, to me, she's royalty.
You go there. Now, I'll show you. You have to, it's not like the RGBs where you hold it down and like then it starts cycling through the colors. It's actually a little cooler, but a little more complicated than that. Now, what I did there was I pointed the blade down while holding the power button and then twitch it to the right like that. Now once you do that, you'll hear that beep that you just heard. And then from there, you just turn the saber and it'll go through any spectrum you want. It's actually pretty sweet. I actually like that method of changing it. So we'll turn it back to blue where it was. And you just hold that down. You'll hear the click. We are now solid. And back down. So, and you can do that for any of the sound fonts. Now, keep in mind also, you will get one of these with every single purchase, just like you do any saber. I have not seen a single saber on the planet, except for secondhand sales, that don't come with some extra retention screws, an Allen wrench, and then these instructions right here. Gives you step-by-step instructions on what to do. No big deal. So anybody who has an issue and this is just not doing it for you, I always highly recommend going to the Facebook groups for lightsabers. There are several, and everybody on the forums, as far as I've seen, and as long as I've been a part of it, are very helpful. Okay, guys, well, I'm going to give you one more good look down. So I have the 32-inch blade here. This is the perfect size for me. I'm about 6 foot, so, you know, use that accordingly. I know some people that are shorter and they prefer, you know, like a 36-inch blade, and I know some people that are taller than me and they prefer more of like a 30-inch. You know, something a little shorter. But I just really want you to get a good look at how this thing is. I mean, this right here, the ridges and everything. I do highly recommend gloves with this if you're going to do some heavy duty spinning or dueling. It'll tear your hand up, I'm sure, but that's pretty standard if you're into dueling at all. That should be a pretty common thing to have, is some gloves. But I just can't get over how much I love this, guys. I thought that I had really seen everything cool that LGT had to offer. And I got to tell you, they just keep surprising me every time. You know, I thought it was over. That Jedi Fallen Order hilt comes in. You know, Tyler at Vire Sabers gets this new emitter and switch. And I got to be honest, guys, I never ever thought that something from LGT would end up being one of my favorites. I mean, this honestly, like, it's simple, it's sleek, but it really is one of my favorite designs that I've been a part of here, and that is the cool thing. You know, you're not buying a pre-made thing, you're putting it all together yourself. And that I've said it before, you know, for better or worse, I've seen people that do some really ugly hilts, but that's up to you. It's your lightsabers, so you do what you want. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and get in the dark and do some spinning. It will not be impressive, but just to give you an idea of how bright this thing gets and the right lighting. All right, guys, well, I am Aaron with The Rookie Geek. Please like and subscribe and enjoy my mediocre spinning.